All right. Good evening, everyone. Today is February 2nd, 2022 in the great state of California. I am Richard Lewis Brown, your Local 1000 president. Tonight's going to be a great night. We have a great PowerPoint presentation that's behind me here. And we're going to discuss, quote, financial freedom versus financial suffering. Financial freedom versus financial suffering. So, I wish you were here. I do. I really wish you were here. I wish that the pandemic was not slowing us down. Because tonight, we're talking about the money. And I know a lot of people look 1000, they say, where is that money, Richard? Because right now we feel comfortably numb. Well, you're right. And we're still trying to get our petitions with the meeting with the governor, take it over to the governor's office, meet with the governor. And we're going to do an organizing event, something very easy you can do from your home on social media. And we'll tell you more about that later this evening. Look for the email on Friday, if not tomorrow morning, on Friday morning. This is going to be something very simple that everyone can take part of. Because we know that everyone most likely has a social media account. Now, again, I wish you were here. I really do. Because this is about the money. And tonight is the start of, quote, learning to fly. Because we're going to do things way differently for Local 1000 for our next contract. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do something very differently tonight. I'm going to take 2 calls, and then I'm going to start the PowerPoint. And then I'm going to go through a couple slides, and then I'm going to sit down and take a couple, maybe 1 or 2 more calls. And then I'm going to get back up and continue the PowerPoint. We're going to change it up tonight. I don't always do the same thing every Wednesday night like people claim. And, you know, even though people say, oh, well, you know, the state of California, they don't care about us. You know, we're just like islands in the stream. No one loves us. That's not true. Because through the years, we've always made it through the years. So when they say, hey, you know, somebody says, I don't need you. Oh, yes, he or she does need you. The state of California needs you. Oh, yes. The 4th largest economy on earth needs you. And so people say, well, you know, the state doesn't care about us, and they ignore us, and they put us in these unsafe working conditions. That's accurate. But we're going to keep fighting because we don't stop believing. All right, first caller in the queue. Oh, well, that's our Chief of Staff, Donna Snodgrass. Please, Donna.
Hi, Richard. I wish I was there with you, but
okay.
As folks have known, we closed the office, so we're down to skeleton, minimal staff, only those who are necessary to get the job done. And I wanted to speak to everyone tonight who's listening that we extended the office closure for another couple of weeks because of this COVID surge. And I saw a letter today with someone demanding that we have staff come in with masks and we can be distanced to spend several hours going over documents and things. And I just want everyone to know, especially our staff, like you're standing up for the represented employees of the state of California, and you're fighting. I've heard you on many Zoom calls with CalHR. I've seen the unfair labor practices that are being filed by our legal department for this very same protection over this COVID issues. I will protect our staff. It bothers me that someone that would demand in-person meetings that could wait for a little while, but I will protect the staff at all costs. And there will be a delay in getting some information. Representation is still taking place. And in fact, we have at least 5 union reps tested positive for COVID in the last 2 weeks, but they're out there doing their jobs. And now we have 3 management level staff, their entire family has tested positive, and they're all using sick leave now. This is serious. This particular strain and the new one coming in I believe are so contagious that we can't take any chances. And I just wanted to let everyone know that the health and safety of the staff of Local 1000 is my number one priority right now, just like all of yours should be the health and safety of the SEIU Local 1000 represented employees. So thank you for letting me say that and get that off my chest, Richard.
Okay, well, thank you, Chief of Staff Donna Snodgrass. And, you know, she's absolutely right. And I know a lot of people think that Local 1000 doesn't care about our represented employees. And as you know, we have this agreement with the state of California regarding mandatory COVID testing. COVID vaccinations. And then we also have part of that agreement that says if we feel that the state is trying to abuse their authority in regards to the testing, then we can grieve that as well. And I know some people are still not satisfied with us, and we will aim to do better. But here at Local 1000, for our staff, we don't have to aim to do better. We are doing better because we're not hypocrites. And so I'll quickly say this about the person she's brought up, the person who was demanding that they are able to come to the building. Number one, you're not going to make any demands on Local 1000 without going through the Local 1000 president, which is myself. So that DLC President 744, Bill Hall, we love you, Bill. We really do. And we love Teresa Taylor. We don't love your behavior. We don't love the dissension and the division and the chaos that you and Teresa Taylor and a few others on the board, along with some of our dues-paying members, are creating here at Local 1000. See, this is why I'm here, to create love and peace and not fight these internal squabbles. So tonight it's all about the money. But again, let me send a clear-cut message to this DLC President 744 who was unelected by no one. He received no votes and never has, unless he can produce votes he received from some election many, many years ago. You're not demanding anything from this union. You can submit your request, and we will respectfully honor your request. But when you submit your request, we're going to respect everyone. And so the information that you seek, sure you'll get it. And everybody will receive it too. Because everyone needs love, because we're going to treat everyone with equal respect in this union, starting with myself, starting with the staff. Oh, let's move on. Next caller, Jill Joyner. Good evening, Jill.
Richard Lewis Brown, how are you?
I'm doing much better now that you've called. Go right ahead.
Baby, don't make me come up there.
Come on, I'm right here.
Come up there and mom you.
Well, listen, now hold on now.
I'll slap you in a pair of moccasins.
Hey, do what you got to do. Slap you a pair of moccasins. You do what you have to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who's the feisty one here, me or you?
You know what? I think we both are.
I CC'd you in an email a couple of weeks. Yeah, I think I'm more feisty because I wear a pair of moccasins.
Okay, all right.
Don't make me start with you.
All right.
Richard Lewis Brown, I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. Don't fight with me.
I got you.
Because you know I will.
I know you will.
Anyway, yes, I will. So don't make me come up there. So this is what I'm going to say. I CC'd you in an email a couple of days ago.
Okay.
Actually, about 2 weeks ago, and you never got back to me. So I'm having a major problem with the manager who is an acting senior, and there kind of gets a little bit more of a mentionable word show. But anyways, I'm having a problem with him. I've been labeled left and right. You're going to have to look up my email at DIR, and it'll say everything. I'm done. I'm so done. And if I find out this unmentionable word, and I'll clean up my language because it involves some cuss words that's not office appropriate or lady appropriate.
Okay.
If I find out he's stopping me from getting another office, I've already threatened to sue him. I really have.
Okay.
I'm done. I've been moved twice because I got super good hearing because I'm indigenous, and I am done. I'm so done. I'm done. I CC'd Tracy in that too. The prior grievance I won, thanks to Tracy, I'm going to give the guy props.
Tracy Peak.
But
Tracy Peak, the area coordinator.
Done.
Tracy Peak?
I'm tired of being, yes, he was. And he's appreciated. Let me start by saying that. I'm done. I'm so done with this. I'm tired of being treated like a second-class citizen. I'm out of the main email box. I did what the friggin' narcissistic Neanderthal told me to do that has since retired. And I wish I was joking, but he is a narcissist and a Neanderthal.
Okay.
Only a narcissist would think it's turn something around on himself when your employee is being shot physically, but a Neanderthal would laugh at it, which is exactly what the Neanderthal did. He has since retired, but I'm still out of the main email box. I don't have half of my tools that I need to do. I'm subject to, if they want to give me access, send me my work I need to do. Sometimes that doesn't work because if the Outlook goes down. Dan Barker is a word a lady will not repeat, and he doesn't want to address issues. So I CC'd you in that email on purpose. I'm tired. I'm done being treated like a second-class citizen. I got moved twice for having super good hearing. Moved twice. I want my window seat back, and I want to be treated like a human being. That's why I CC'd you in that.
Right. So let me.
I'm done. I'm so done. I want to sue.
So, Jill Joyner, I have saw your emails, and people oftentimes CC me on emails, and so what I ask people to do is is to go through their job steward, go through their DLC president, and if that's not good enough, you should always call the 866-471-7348 and speak to your rep for your particular area to handle this situation.
Richard Lewis Brown, you do realize what DLC I'm in?
Yes.
Don't make me start with you.
You know what? So I won't say your DLC unless you want me to. I won't say. Okay. Yeah. So what she's referring to is I just talked about DLC. The president said.
You want me to sit?
Are you in 744?
Mm-hmm.
Are you in 744?
Yes, I am.
Enough said. I got the message.
Yes, I am.
I got the message. Okay. I got the message.
Well, this is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Tracy's appreciated, but I'm still not in the main email box. I'm treated like a second-class citizen. I'm in the corner still, literally. I've been labeled systematically, repeatedly for being indigenous. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm so tired. I'm that close to accepting a job in the private sector for an office manager position. That close, and turn around and suing. What do you think?
Well,
That's bad.
what I would say is,
Now you understand why I'm taking command of the situation?
yes. And we don't want you to go into the private sector. We want you to continue to work for the state and have a great career. But we also want you to have your dignity in the workplace, 5.11 in our contract. So I will respond to your email, and I'll most likely, if Tracy Peak cannot help you, then we'll have to take it a step farther. And I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to say everything we're going to do out here.
Tracy's appreciated for help. I'm not going to, forgive me, I'm not going to lie. Tracy's very appreciated for helping me to begin with. I did win the initial grievance against Lee for being, again, an unmentionable word. The narcissistic Neanderthal has retired.
Okay.
And I'm not joking, he is one. He deserves a stronger label, but that's beside the point. And not appropriate here. Anyways, I'm done. I'm so done. I want my window seat back. I want to be treated like a human being. And I want back into the main email box. And he's not going to address those issues.
All right, we will address those issues for you.
I got moved for having good hearing, Richard. You can drop a pin. My hearing happens to be that good. I was told I was eavesdropping, and I was not. I was just sitting there. My hearing's that good.
All right, I have received.
That violates the dignity clause.
All right, I have received your message. We will respond to you. That's a guarantee. Thank you for calling in, Jill. Hang in there.
And I'm still going to come up there and mom you.
I know.
You're going to make me come up there and mom
well, listen. I'm gonna be on the road for the next. Oh gosh. For the next 1 to 2 months, so let me know when you're coming, so I try to make sure that I can try to be here to meet you. But the office is closed right now, so it won't be to probably sometime in March or April. Or no, unless I come.
We're doing a tabling in 2 weeks.
Who?
Currently, Joel Chan's right-handed person, our chief steward in the building,
Sure.
because I'm in the building 5 days a week.
Okay.
So we're doing a tabling on the 16th. Literally. So, one thing at a time.
Okay. We'll talk very soon. That's a promise.
If we
Okay.
don't, I'm gonna mom you.
Oh, all right. Thank you for calling in. All right. So listen, we'll take one more caller, and then we're gonna do the PowerPoint that's behind me. All right. So, DLC 770 Secretary Treasurer Derek Rogue. Go ahead, Derek.
Good evening, President Brown. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great, Derek. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm a little under the weather, and trust me, I'm a little bit under the weather tonight. But I can't wait to see this PowerPoint. And
Okay.
I want to say good evening to Local 1000. I have a few things tonight that I would like to address to the members of Local 1000. And if you don't mind, I would just like to take a moment to do so.
Okay.
So I want to start off by saying this week, I'm pretty sure, actually this whole month has been kind of a fast-paced, and I mean the month is in the last 30 days. I know we're just starting February, but it's been so fast-paced. And I know there's a little bit of legal issues going on right now. And I want to remind the membership, because I'm sitting back and I know, Richard, you said earlier we kind of have to try to respect everyone. But I feel a little bit disrespected, and I'm sure thousands of others feel very disrespected by this puppet, for lack of better words, that goes by the name of Bill Hall. This Bill Hall, who claims he's in some kind of a leadership position, and this Bill Hall that wants to override everyone's vote just so he can be in power. I want to say something to the membership tonight. I am fed up. I am just fed up as much as everyone else has, and I feel like, excuse my tone here, I feel like our votes, our voices, and our rights as members are just being pissed on by Bill Hall and his cronies. And I know this has come down to a legal battle, and let me say it this way, guys. If they want to put our faith of this Local 1000, SEIU Local 1000, and the faith of the legal system, then we need a voice. We need a voice, and we need to take action to get that voice represented in court. They want to override everything and think it's a game. Well, we need to push back a little harder. I'm inviting everyone out there, whether you're watching this on Facebook, YouTube, or if you're right here tonight on Zoom, get my information down. My name is Derek Roque from DLC 770. My telephone number is 209-818-8983. My email is DerekRoque, altogether, at hotmail.com. That's DerekRoque at hotmail.com. Phone number is 209-818-8983. And let's come up with an action plan together. We got to get on this fast, because while we're over here coming on these calls every week and they're sending their little pawns to try to distract us, there's a deeper mission going on. And to those pawns, yeah, I wasn't here last week, but I was on Facebook. I saw you, Scotty B. Smith. You think you're real sweet with those comments you're writing to the members, how you're talking to people. Yeah, and all your little conspiracy theories you're coming up with. I'm going to end the call by saying this tonight. The prophecy is written, and pretty soon, it's going to be fulfilled. Thank you very much. Let's take some action, guys. I got a plan. Just get a hold of me. Have a good evening, Local 1000. Thank you, Richard. I hope all goes well, and I can't wait to see this PowerPoint.
All right. So, Derek, that's a great call. That's a member that's fed up. He has given you his phone number. No one has ever given their phone number other than myself. I feel like Derek is competing with me. His phone number, 209. I'm waving at the other interpreter. Hey, now I got both of y'all. See, I'm showing equal love. All right. So, and I know you've probably been wondering, you can never wave at me like that. All right. So here we go. Derek Rogue. Derek Rogue. 209-818-8983. Derek, DEREK, ICK Roque, ROQUE at hotmail.com. It appears that people have finally had enough of this DOC 744 President Bill Hall and Teresa Taylor, DOC 786. Now, okay, I'm gonna get to other callers. DOC 772 President Mary De La Cruz, I'll get to you in a second. I'm gonna start the PowerPoint. People are fed up. Your Local 1000 president should be totally occupied with one single thing. Well, actually a couple. Protecting you in the workplace from bad behaving, self-serving bosses, getting you the essential worker premium pay for losing 2 days of pay for a whole fiscal year for no reason, and while you were under a signed contract, getting you a high-quality telework agreement that does not show disrespect to those in the office versus those who can work from home. What's the other thing that I'm missing? God, I know I'm missing something. The fourth thing. Oh, to drive up membership. Someone has said that, they can't communicate to people in DMV at the DMV field offices, where you go and get your driver's license and stuff at. That's a great point. And I am focused on all those issues while I'm also trying to maintain or, quote, keep my job. Derek said something, disrespecting the voters' voices. The voters voted. They said, put Richard in. And the voters always tell you, we don't agree with Richard's 10-point platform. Not all of it, but there's something about me they agree with. There's something so overwhelming about me that they said, put him in. And the voters' voices are being disrespected by Bill Hall and a few other people, including Teresa Taylor and her little racist, sexist, homophobic comments. But you know what? That is what they're about. And I'm sure, in their personal lives, they're great people. But as far as their position in Local 1000 and them trying to, quote, remove me from this union and disbar me from re-election, you know what? God bless them for now finally telling the truth, because I told you how they felt about me months ago, and I told you, because I'm an outspoken, sincere black man, that they got to get me up out of here. And when we go through this PowerPoint here, you're going to find out why. Because as your chief negotiator of your contract, Richard Lewis Brown, things are going to be way different. And most people already know we're going on strike. After bargaining in good faith for a period of time, and when the state refuses to cooperate, the same way they're refusing to cooperate with this telework agreement, and we're showing you on the website how they negotiated on that telework agreement. $50 and $25, take it or leave it. That's their mindset. And you see how we've negotiated back, and then they said, okay, and we're going back and forth. But you've never seen that before until now. And they know in their heart, come the spring of 2023, I will not back down from the state of California. Praise God to Jesus Christ. I will not back down. I see you. Take your time. And we're going to fight, and we're going to get this money. What they say, Master told me one day that I'd find peace in every way, but in search for the clue, wrong things I was bound to do. But tonight ain't one of them. Tonight's about the money. Wish you were here. Hey, you, I hope you're listening tonight. Know when to fold them, know when to hold them, I guess. But tonight we're learning to fly. Some of y'all have never, ever thought you would learn to fly. But tonight you will. Tonight you will. Let's get it started. We'll do a few slides, and then I'll go to a hand raise. DOC President 772, Mary De La Cruz. All right, financial freedom, because in this country we believe in freedom, and so many people came to America looking for freedom. I wish I could say the same thing for my family, but that's okay. God's still good all the time. Here we go. Financial freedom versus financial suffering by President Richard Lewis Brown, February 2nd, 2022. Presentation overview. Do politics pay off for Local 1000? They've been telling you for years that politics matters. And we have to be involved in politics. Well, let's see. PLPs, inflation, cost of living have been crushing state employees for over 10 years. What word did we miss? Furloughs. Doggone it, we put furloughs in there. Because we know over 30,000 represented local 1,000 employees lost their homes, their cars, some marriages, credit scores, all wiped out during that Great Recession. You know who you are. You know who you are. All right. What did local 1,000 leaders do to solve pay injustice over the years? The leaders, president, the VPs, your bunk chairs, what have they done over the years? All right. How should we engage the governor and set our goals for bargaining? Well, we've been transparent. We've been trying to set up meetings with him for the essential worker premium pay to give our petitions to him. He says that we're all in this together. That's what he told you in the year 2020. That's what he told you. He said, we have to do this. We have to give up our money for 2 days of pay for 2 straight fiscal years. That's what he told you. Now, the state legislature that's controlled by his party, the Democrats, they didn't give up a dime. See, that's when you know about politics. They tell you how important it is for you to give up something, for you to sacrifice. Sacrifice yourself, sacrifice your family, sacrifice your time, and most importantly, that money and your hope for a better tomorrow. They asked you to sacrifice all of that while they sat back at the French Laundry and anywhere else they didn't get caught at and laughed and kicked it and had fun while you suffered. Now, let's go back. Financial freedom versus financial suffering. Are you tired of being hoodwinked and bamboozled and deceived? Are you tired? I hope you are. I hope you are. All right. Let's keep it moving here. Look at 1,000 salary numbers. I'm starting with a quote. We got a picture now. San Francisco Mayor London Breed. There she is. It's time that the reign of criminals who are destroying our city come to an end. Now, this is in San Francisco. So when all of you were saying, hey, let everybody out of prison and everything, okay, that's a great social justice move. Fantastic. I don't know where they're going, other than back to that same, crime-infested, drug-infested environment they came from. I'm just saying. Just saying. But here she is. This is in San Francisco. And it comes to an end when we take the steps to be more aggressive with law enforcement. That statement right there, it should say, for Local 1000, it's time for the reign of the state of California, who've been destroying our hope for years, comes to an end. That's what it should say. And it comes to an end when we take steps to be more aggressive with law enforcement. What it should say is, it comes to the end with the leadership of the new Local 1000 President Richard Lewis Brown. With the state of California. More aggressive with the desire to create a new culture. That's not what it says. That's me talking live, unscripted, unedited, unrehearsed, when they tell you that I need something in front of me to roll. No, I don't. I can go unscripted, unedited, unrehearsed, or I can put notes in front of me. I can go both ways. Can you? Moving on. Now listen to this. Look at her. Oh, look at her. The mayor, London Breed. Listen to how she says this. More aggressive with the changes in our policies and less tolerant of all the bullshit that has destroyed our city. Now, hold on a second. Hold on now. Now, look at her. Beautiful red. She's professional. She's dignified. She doesn't miss a step. She doesn't make bad videos. She's always professional. But you know what? That sister had enough. She said bullshit. You let me say bullshit, y'all will lose your natural born mind. But she said it. still has her job. She's not under a recall. She's not under a lawsuit. She's just saying, I'm not letting these criminals, which is what I'm saying, I'm not letting the state of California run us crazy anymore. It's over. Yeah, sure. December 15th, 2021. That's what she said. And she's got the police behind her. Maybe she's part of the Freedom Foundation. You know, maybe she's trying to destroy the city. You let me have some police behind me and I say something like that. You would swear that I'm going to Fox News, which I may be going sometime in the near future. Hi, Fox. All right. Or CNN, or CBS. Oh, ABC, thank you. NBC, MSNBC. My favorite, PBS. Oh, you didn't know I like PBS? Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't fit your narrative? Okay. Keep thinking. Moving on. Now, they say pictures or 1,000 words. Well, there is our man, former Governor Jerry Brown. Yeah, he's talking like he's so sincere. Like he really cares about you. He doesn't. Remember that OPEB we're paying right now? Huh, thank old Jerry for that. Good old Jerry. Kind of reminds me of the NWA. When Ice Cube talks about Jerry, who's that bad manager that was always robbing them their money? Y'all know what I'm saying. You young folks know what I'm saying. So anyway, well, not the young people, the old people know. All right. So here he is acting like he cares. Here he is again. Here's our former president and our 2 former VPs. He looks like he's sincere. He looks highly professional. He's highly educated. He's highly dignified. And there's our 3 former VPs, our president and our 2 former VPs. And they're telling you that they believe in him. Look at him. And he convinced you that your retiree health care wasn't guaranteed. That was a lie. It was guaranteed until you agreed to negotiate it away. Oh, look at him. There's our former president. There's Jerry. Here they are again. I believe that's Brenda Ferguson, DMV headquarters, if I'm correct. This picture here with Jerry. I don't know the other 2 people and the person behind. And so here it is. Do politics really pay off for Local 1000? Governor Brown bargained in good faith with Local 1000 so state workers could get substantial pay raises during the MOU negotiations, Memorandum of Understanding, for 3 different contracts from 2010 through 2018. Well, did you come up? Did you get substantial pay increases? Or did the certain select few with their divisive salary stipends? I'm not salary stipends, salary adjustments. Salary pay raises. Did they come up? Did they do much better than you, the rest of us? Remember 2009? He won that election. And part of the deal was we didn't have a contract for over a year and a half with Schwarzenegger. And we give up one day the 2010 POP for Jerry Brown. And in 2012, while under a signed contract from the 2010 to 2013 contract, he asked for another day. We didn't learn our mistake from the first time. We took some type of vote we took, and we gave up another day while under a signed contract. That was a mistake. That was a huge mistake. Because guess what? We did that stupid move again. Except this time they didn't take it to all the membership. Only the bargaining team and the president, they decided. They said that was the best thing to do. Was it? Do you think if I had been your president back then, you would have lost any money? No. Moving on. Here he is again. Do politics really matter? Is Governor Brown really supporting a supporting leader, a union supporting leader, and a friend of Local 1000? There's that OPEB, 3.5%, that started July 2nd, 2016 under that contract. It ends, now listen to this. It ends with our current contract on June 30th, 2023. Someone said, well, we thought the OPEB, that deduction is automatic for life. No, it's not. That has to be negotiated in every contract, unless you leave it in there. And you know with me, No. You know, know when to hold him. Okay, I'm talking to you now. Uh-huh. Some of y'all some gamblers out here. Some of y'all lost a lot of money on that football game last weekend. Yeah, you lost some too? Okay. I didn't lose none. I don't bet like that. All right, so here he is. Here's our people. Look at them. They're all standing up for him, clapping for him. What did he really do for you? He didn't do anything for you. Not one thing. Now, before you go back in history and say, well, you know, Richard, the governor in 1977, September 30th, he signed the Employer-Employee Relations Act, Richard, and that's why we have unions today. And he was instrumental in getting the Ralph C. Dills Act. Okay. So you thought I was going to let that slide? No, he hustled you back in 1977. Yeah, he let you unionize, but he put the exclusive representative clause in there so that if he could control the presidents of the unions, he could control you. So you got hustled back then, and you're still being hustled now, but not under my leadership. Yeah, I said it, hustled, deceived, bamboozled, misled, took. That's what he did. Under the guise that he was trying to help labor. That was a lie. He was helping himself. And that's why he could never run for U.S. president. That's why they would never nominate him. They saw what he was really about. Moving on, and there he is again. You know, the public employees pension reform. So the people who came in from 2011, and many of those who came in from 2013, that they don't get the same thing we get. How does that make you feel? You're a young person, you come into the state of California, you got to work a few more years to get less. Yes. You got to work longer to get less. But yet, I want you to keep paying your money to the union. That's some bogus. Let me stop. So, that's wrong. That's not right. Okay, here we go. Moving on. Oh, there he is. There he is. Our current governor, and everyone's sitting there, and he's here in our union. Look, I'm not going to hate on Gavin. He wears that suit nice. So here he is. Did Governor Newsom meet the moment when he cut our pay by threatening us with a 2-day furlough for 2 straight fiscal years? It wasn't for one, it was for 2 straight fiscal years. During the 2020 election, unless we voluntarily gave up this money while under a signed contract. There he is in our building, getting our vote, getting our support in 2018 when he ran. Oh, here's a news flash at 7:07 p.m. I voted for him in 2018. Check my website, Create Excellence 7437. Check my transparency. Because I'm the only one that you'll see that. All these other people will tell you how they voted. You don't know how these folks voted. So many people tell you they didn't vote for Donald Trump in 2016? Then how you get all those votes then? How did he win? Some people say, well, Richard, we know you voted for Donald Trump. No, I didn't. Check my record. And while you're talking on Facebook about me working with the right to work and all this and that, check my voting record. But while you're checking my stuff, yeah, I want to check yours too. Put your voting record up. Oh, you don't have one to show? Yeah, we're not surprised. Moving on. So here they are again. There he is. Look at him. Governor Gavin Newsom. There's Margarita, our former chief of staff, our former VP of bargaining. Here he is with our former president, Yvonne Walker, former VP secretary, former VP organizing representation, Tamika Robinson. And look at that. Look at that. There she is. She looks so nice and sweet. DOC 786 President Teresa Taylor. Doesn't she look so sweet? She ain't. She ain't so nice and sweet. You heard what she said about me, right? And don't say I made her say that. I didn't make her do anything. But here they are. He's got his arms around Tamika and Yvonne. Look at him. He's got a beautiful smile, you know. Yeah, they all do. They all have beautiful smiles. But did he meet the moment? Did he? Because if he had, quote, was willing to meet the moment, that telework policy negotiations that started in September 2020, if they had accomplished that telework agreement and the essential work premium pay, if our former president and Governor Gavin Newsom had did those 2 things, trust and believe, she would be the president of this union. I'm telling you this. All they had to do was get this done. They could have half did it. And then pay out a few dollars here and there for the essential worker premium pay. She's reelected. She's reelected. But why did it not happen? I thought politics mattered. And we know that they're close because he's taking a picture with them. If you ever see me take a picture with Gavin, I want to take a picture with Gavin because I believe that Gavin can pull this off again in 22 here. And he can make it to the White House. I really do. When you see me taking a picture with Governor Gavin Newsom, either they're deporting me back to Missouri, but y'all got paid that money. Y'all got paid that money. All right. 21% pay increase across the board for everyone equally. Here we go. There he is. Look at him. Look at him. Hold on. He's got that microphone. He's got his hand. Hi, I'm Gavin Newsom. You know, he has that raspy voice. Hi, I'm Gavin Newsom. And I'm glad to be here at Local 1000 tonight. And I'm going to take time to thank you for all for coming. Look at him. You can't make that up. Look at him. And look at everybody. They're sitting there and they're just watching. And that looks like and he was courting our vote and got a lot of our vote. And then he turns around and said, oh, I need 2 days to pay for 2 straight fiscal years. What kind of friend is that? I'm serious. I'm trying to laugh this off with you. Do politics really matter? Do they really pay off? Oh, wow. Do politics really pay off for Local 1000? I haven't seen it. Have you? Well, if politics really matters for Local 1000, who's getting paid? Because I'm not. I'm just saying, pictures are 1,000 words. Do politics really pay off for Local 1000? Now check this out. Listen to this. The governor's salary, $218,000. He had a 4.2% increase. They have a private commission that looks at the salaries and stuff of the state legislature, and then they decide how much money to give them. So he got a 4.2 2022. Now we're scheduled for a 2.5 here on July 1st, 2022. But he's doing much better than you. $218,000. Now the state and the assembly, they get paid the same thing. That's what was reported to me. Their average salary, $115,000. Their average salary, $115,000. And they had no pay cut in 2021. Remember, you had the pay cut. They told you, go on and work with Gavin. You guys find a pathway. Try to figure things out. We don't want to be involved. What do you mean you don't want to be involved? I thought that he had to get your approval for these contracts. I thought that when you come to Local 1000 asking for our endorsement, we don't say, well, no, we don't want to get involved. We're going to say that now. But, in the past we haven't said that. We're like, tell us your game plan. Remember we were fighting over, was it Gavin? Was it John Chung? We were fighting among ourselves who to support. And I told y'all years ago, neither one cared about you. They still don't. I stand by what I say. But these are these salaries. You show me somebody who's making 6 figures, and I'm going to show you somebody who looks at you differently, who's not really concerned about your welfare. What's a furlough? Now, we've gone through this over and over again. Furlough, a scheduled day imposed by the state of California, signed by the governor, approved by the legislature. Shuts down the state for a specified day per month for a period of time. It shuts down the state. It shuts down that agency. But you can't furlough everybody. Remember, there are certain people represented by Local 1000 at the California Lottery, First 5 California, Prison Industry Authority, California Earthquake Authority, California Housing Finance Agency, some said SCIF as well, who got their money back. 99% of us didn't get our money back during that furlough situation with that individual. You know who he is. Arnie, whatever name he's going by. All right, personal leave program, you gave up your money. You agreed to give up your money while under a signed contract. Now they say, well, you know, you can take the day whenever you want. No, you can't. It's somewhat controlled for scheduling the time off or making the reserve time. Because some agencies make you take that day. Some agencies didn't make you take it. They were supposed to make you take it. But you have to still be approved by management. Once again, management is controlling you when you take your time off on giving up your money. Oh, let me stop. All right, so what's the impact? Fiscal year 20 to 21. Salary, the benefits and tax cuts. That number rounded 856 million. 856 million. So someone says, why can't Gavin just pay us the money back? He can. He can pay us that money back. All right, we're going to take 2 hands raised, and then I'm going to get back on this PowerPoint. All right, DLC 772 President Mary Dela Cruz. Go ahead, Mary.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Oh, loud and clear.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for your leadership. I want to say good evening to SCIU members, and I want to let this be known public that I stand with Derek. And you know, Richard, my number is 559-903-6696. And you know what? My concern is this. Our purpose statement for SEIU 1000 indicates that we're a strong member-led union. You know, we're not an Insurrection 8-led union. It's a membership. And so you know what? When they come against you, Richard, they're coming against our vote and our voice. You got elected in. We didn't elect Bill Hall. We don't want Bill Hall. So members' voice and vote matters. So tell you what, add my name. I'm going to start a list. I'm going to start a membership drive list. When you go to court, Richard, you call us all to court because the members are going to be in that audience supporting you. And we're going to be standing up and saying our voice as SEIU member-led union, not Bill Hall's or anybody else's, but you speak for us and we'll be there supporting you. Again, DLC President 772 Mary Dela Cruz 559-903-6696, and I challenge every supporter that supports you. Let's get on board with this action. Put us on the agenda for court. Thank you, Richard. Have a good night.
Well, thank you for calling in DLC 772 President Mary Dela Cruz. She's the second person to give out their number, 559-903-6696. You know what? There's nothing more I can add to that. I'm going to go to the next caller, DLC 768 President Cheryl Allen. Good evening, Cheryl.
Good evening. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak. You know, I wish I could say that I would do the same as Mary Dela Cruz and Derek Rowe. God bless you. I stand with you, but I'm not giving out my telephone number.
Oh.
We're going to start there.
All right.
Okay, but on a serious note, I would like to kind of piggyback on the issue in which we're speaking about membership and membership drives. And I also want to state that I do support you and your efforts and what it is that you're trying to do. But I would like to talk to you for just a second, not only to you, I'm appealing to you, but this is actually a battle cry for the members that are actually on either this call or listening by way of Facebook. Last week, you took me back down memory lane. You had BGs. I was singing and humming the BGs all week, okay? You took us back down to disco, my childhood, and that was a good thing. This week, I want to challenge our members because I want to give you a little bit of soul, a little SOUL, and that's an acronym for Save Our Union's Life. And the reason why I'm coming at you with that particular acronym is because I've been told by more than one person, ironically, on 2 different days, that SEIU Local 1000 is under a raid. Yes, believe it or not, I don't mean Lakeside's raid. I mean a raid in which there's the word on the curve that people are trying to raid bargaining units 1 and 11. What that means for those who don't know is that there are people who are attempting to pull the members from bargaining unit 1 and get them to decertify from SEIU Local 1000, and they're trying to do the same with bargaining unit 11. The unfortunate part to that is that in bargaining unit 11, there's a lot of disgruntled members. I'm not saying that because of what I've heard. I'm saying that because during the last contract, as a bargaining unit negotiating team member, I was one of the people who went to various work sites and worked to convince bargaining unit 11 to vote yes to ratify the contract. I'm not going to get hung up in the details about what I thought about it then versus what it is that I think about it now. But what I am going to say is that because of that, they were disgruntled then and they're disgruntled now. So they will probably be an easy pick and easy to sway from Local 1000. Bargaining Unit 1, being the largest bargaining unit within our union, would be a huge hit and detrimental to our membership. In fact, Bargaining Unit 1 is the bargaining unit that our president, Richard Lewis Brown, belongs to. So if they were to somehow desert from SEIU Local 1000, what that would actually mean is that Richard Brown will no longer be eligible to be our president. Now, I'm a firm believer that sometimes the enemy comes in and he wants to try to steal, kill, and destroy. And when he can't do that, he'll distract you by throwing different wrenches and stumbling blocks and obstacles in your way. So I see this as being just yet another obstacle thrown our way. But you know what? I believe in the soul of SEIU Local 1000. I believe that we have more members here that are interested in saving our union and making sure that bargaining unit 1 and bargaining unit 11 sticks with us, because beyond all of the past discretions, beyond all of the past letdowns and setbacks, we're still the best union for them to be a part of. So again, I'm not going to give out my telephone number, but what I'm doing is I'm challenging the members. We need to organize. We need to now take the fight to the next level. We need to have those conversations that may be a little uncomfortable. We need to be prepared to not only be challenged, but challenge those who might be thinking about this. We need to educate ourselves. We need to know what the true ramifications are if they decide to desert from SEIU Local 1000. So again, I'm looking for the soul of SEIU Local 1000. I'm not going to give you my telephone number, but if you want to email me, you can find me at cmissallen768@gmail.com. If we meet and decide that we're on the same page, I don't have a problem with giving out my number. So again, where are my soul brothers at? Where are my soul sisters at? Let's meet. Let's unite. Let's bring back our union and create this membership and get us where we're supposed to be. Thank you. I'm done for this evening.
So, let me say this for DLC 768 President Sherrill Allen. She's not wrong. When she talks about educate, no one's educated you more than I have. See, there's certain words that really snap me. You can organize all that you want, but until you accept the truth about the union that you thought you had, organizing doesn't mean anything, because you'll organize and continue to make the same mistakes. And we had people here that could organize and did a good job. But you can't tell. You can't tell by your money. They did all that organizing all these years, but did they enforce your contract? No, they did not. Now, when she talks about educate and organize, she's looking at this from another lens, and I'm glad that she is. Let me say this. No one really knew about the membership rate of this union until I showed up. You say, well, Richard, it's not about you. It is about me, because I am the union, and you are too, and we're in this together, because I've never let you down. Other people have. And when I say that to people, people say, oh, he's self-centered. He's a narcissistic individual. Oh, am I? I didn't take money from you, but I'm the one who's self-centered and narcissistic, and I'm the one who's funding my own campaign, and I've taken on all these lives, all of these years, I've taken on every single person in this union. But you know, Cheryl said, save our union's life, soul. Well, sister, you know I got soul, and you do too. I love that acronym. I do. The bargaining unit 1 and 11. I just have the information right in front of me. She just happened to call tonight, and I just have it up here on this board. I'm going to get to it here in a second. This is how I know God's with me. No matter how depressed I may get at times, people walk right into what I have already up on this PowerPoint. 44% Unit 1, 42% Unit 11. Now, I know why Unit 11 is upset, because they were forced to do a revote when they should not have had to do a revote. They voted that contract down. They wanted something different. And they were disrespected. And I've told them, bargaining Unit 11. Let me say it for you again, bargaining Unit 11. Particularly the transportation engineering technicians. As long as I am Richard Lewis Brown, I know, and I'm the chief negotiator, I will not disrespect you. Bargaining Unit 1, the unit that I belong to, well, I know how you operate. A lot of us are educated, college educated in Bargaining Unit 1. You can't hustle us. You can't just tell us something. If we want to get hustled, we would have got hustled in college, and they couldn't hustle us. We didn't just go to college, we finished college. There's a difference. So you can't just tell us anything and everything. And that's why I'm so transparent, so I can reach out to the people in Bargaining Unit 1 and say, that was the past, this is the present, and this is where we're going in the future. And I'm not giving you no jive talking. Money! Like I said, wish you were here, Cheryl. Hey, you. But see, sometimes, as I said, we're suffering from the Stockholm Syndrome, and some of you are comfortably numb. Let's take one more caller, and then I'm going to jump back on this PowerPoint, and I'm going to get to what Cheryl was saying. I'm going to show you some more information. All right, next caller, DLC 792, President Jack Dean. Go ahead, Jack.
Good evening, Richard. Hope you're
evening.
having a great time talking about the money.
I
There's a
am.
lot of echoes tonight of phone numbers out there. So I'll be fearless. 530-251-3099.
That's
Call
530,
me if you want to.
530,
251
251,
3099.
3099. Let's say it again. DLC 792, President Jack Dean. 530-251-3099. Go ahead, Jack.
You know, I stand behind Derek and what he is trying to push here. I really think that it's important that we get as many people behind him and his mission that we possibly can. The members need a voice. The members voted. They voted for Richard Lewis Brown. He is our president. And Bill Hall coming in and a few people getting together and saying that he is the chair and he is now running our union without a single member vote. No, it violates corporate code, and it's just wrong. It's flat out wrong. We need to get behind Derek. We need to find the right attorney that can represent the members and give the members a voice in this fight, where the voice should have been all along. So, yeah, anyway, it's never too late. Keep talking, keep pushing.
Hey,
let's get this done.
You know what, Jack? Let me throw this at you before you hang up. You know, I'm all right, Jack. And you know, normally I would tell you, keep your hands off my stack. That's what I would normally tell you. But money, money, money. That's what tonight's about. At least I thought that tonight was about money. But it appears that people are, quote, really upset about this Bill Hall. You know, some people say, well, you know, Richard, you're tongue-twisted and tongue-tied, and you're a misfit, and blah, 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 blah. They say all kinds of things about me. And I accept those criticisms. I'm just wondering, Jack, if that DLC 744 President Bill Hall, if he's really listening, because I know he sends his spies, but when he realizes that taking me on is one thing, but when you have to take on the whole union to try to run me out of here, while we're under attack, as Cheryl Allen, DLC 768 President has mentioned, that there's a possibility that with the rumor that we're under attack with bargaining unit 1 and 11, is this really what Bill Hall wants? And let me end with this, Jack. I have told people that people are willing to destroy this union as long as they can run me out. That's what they're willing to do, which raises the question, did they ever care about this union to begin with, or was it really just about themselves? We'll get to that in the PowerPoint. All right.
Thanks, Richard.
You're very welcome. I got you covered, Jack. All right, so here we go. We're going to go back to this PowerPoint, and here we go. We're going to cover a lot of ground here. What time do we have? 7:31. This is going to be a long night tonight. You know, I'm not going to tell you get your popcorn and Patron. I'm not going to say that. All right. We talked about this before in the past, about the furloughs. This is this long chart. The COLA, since we haven't had a COLA, cost of living allowance, or they called it in that contract, the 2006 to 2008 contract, we haven't had a cost of living adjustment since July 2007. And so we showed you here that from 2008, fiscal year 2008, up to now, we've lost almost 8%. And so when people say, why do you say the hateful eight? Well, maybe the hateful eight, someone said some type of insurrectionist or whatever. The hateful eight, maybe they're part of this 8% loss. Maybe they are. I don't know. I say a number, I say something humorous, and then it shows back up on me later. We've lost almost 8%. Why? I thought politics was supposed to pay off for us. It's not. You keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, and they keep telling you, well, you didn't organize right. I don't care how you organize. Until you accept the fact these politicians are not in your favor, you'll keep making the same mistakes and keep giving up your money while they protect and prioritize their family and their children and put their children in private school while your kids are in public school and they're suffering. Now, I'm not trying to preach tonight. I'm trying to do a lecture. Inspirational talk. Cost of living and housing is out of control. You don't have to keep emailing me, but you will. RL Brown at SEIU1000.org. Last year, average rent rose 14%. Good gosh. 14% last year. Now they say this year is expected to rise 10%. So 10 plus 14 is 24%, which is 21 plus 3. Those are those numbers I keep telling you about, 7437. I don't know how people keep up with this. Remember when people were complaining that the staff here got a 14% pay increase over 3 years? And then you see this? Do I look so crazy now? Do I look so crazy now? I mean, at a certain point, you have to stop being silly. Stop thinking that the money's not there. The money's there. You got to get in there and get the money. This is not a utopian society. This is capitalist America mixed with some socialism. If you're not willing to fight for that money, you're not going to get that money. We're a union. We're going to have to fight for the money the way unions have always fought for the money from the time they started. Along with respect in the workplace and safe working conditions and a pension and a 40-hour work week and a lunch break, 15-minute break, paid vacation. I think the child labor laws, the pregnancy paid maternity leave, all of that stuff that some of you take for granted wasn't always there. The unions had to fight to get that. In fact, I can't believe I'm even going to say this. The unions was the one organization outside of the military that allowed minorities to come with white people and fight for a high quality wage. Not no livable wage, but a substantial wage. Stop saying livable wage, because if you're living for a livable wage, you'll be living day to day, like paycheck to paycheck, and you'll never get ahead. And you'll never be able to save anything, and you'll be asking the government for a government handout. Oh boy. What is the living wage in California? Can our local 1,000 represent employees stay afloat with an average salary of $69,600? Okay, let's go back for a second. Okay. Well, can they? The California median household income is $75,000. Living wage in California, oh boy. So I see what happened here. Living wage in California in 21. One adult and one kid. You. 83,907. Hey you. Now, if it's two adults and two kids, jeez, okay, it's 112,000. And you have three, so you're not even off here. So this is a lot of money. This is a lot of money in California. Now, you can say, what's the big deal with this? I'm going to show you here in a second. The GO pay $250 per month, first time in our current contract, only to employees who work in Orange, Santa Barbara, Santa Cruz, and San Luis Obispo. You say, well, how did they figure that out? How did they negotiate that with the state of California? Now, I don't know if that was really so much a negotiation, but I wasn't in the room. But here's what we do know. They looked at counties with the highest cost of living, that also had the highest state job vacancy rates, and a large density of low-wage workers. Where in the heck is San Francisco City and County? Where's Alameda? Where is LA? What county is San Jose? Is that, I can't remember. Is that San Jose County? No, I forgot what city San Jose's in. But that whole Bay Area, we get the point. The whole Bay Area. Where's San Diego at? Where's Orange County? Well, Orange County's here, I take that back. But where's San Diego at? Who came up with this situation? Did we bargain strong enough? Did we bargain hard enough? If you say everybody can't get GO pay, I say that's a wrong answer. But I know this, San Francisco, that whole Bay Area, the whole LA, the whole Southern California. Santa Clara County, thank you. For San Jose and those towns in that region. I should have known that. I lived down there. Just forgot. But this is crazy. This PowerPoint slide is up on our website. Now, some people say I'm giving up too much transparency. Possibly. Unit 1, it talks about the money for all the employees, represent employees of Unit 1, up to 21. And, you know, we didn't put the state bar on here, but we have the other 9, 1, 3, 4, 11, 14, 15, 17, 20, 21. Now listen, look at this slide for a second. Remember we were right here talking about $69,600 average salary? You know, but yet the median for household income for California is $75,000. But the living wage is a lot higher. And then we come over here This is great work by the research department. Kenny Sims and Jack McGlynn and Roger White. Now look at this. 31,200 up to 55,000. Now, I should have had this on the slide. Trying to do too much. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to take 2,080 times $15 an hour, 31,200. Okay, so $15 an hour is right here. Do you realize in that range, in Unit 4, almost 82% is in that range? Unit 15 is almost 90%. And then statewide, in that range, it's 35% for Local 1000. Did you ever know that? No, you didn't know that. You never had this type of research done before and given to you. You may have seen it at one of the town halls doing the bargaining from the prior contracts, but they were going to give you this information and put it up on our website. Now you have something to go on. Now you have something to feel inspired about, that your union is being transparent, and they want you to be a dues-paying member. So we can negotiate, help us negotiate a great contract. Now look, 29%, 55 to 75. We don't get to really can survive until 75 to 100, and we're at just barely over 20%, at 22%. And then we have the superstars, 6 figures plus. These people. Wow, look at this. 100,000 up to 125,000. Unit 21. Yeah, they're the superstars. They feel like, they're above the fray. They're at 63% of their people make that type of salary in Unit 21. And Unit 17, our RNs, they're over 50% at that salary. But hold on. Wait a minute. We're going to have to talk about them RNs, them superstars. You know who you are. You know who you are. Look at them. They at almost 30, they're at over 31% from 125 to 150. So you mean to tell me, what is that? 82.8, almost 83% of Unit 17 is 100 or more, 100,000 or more. 83%. Do they really care about everyone else? I hope they do. I'm not so sure they do. I'm hoping. It says nearly 2 and 3, thank you, nearly 2 and 3, 64% of our represented employees earn $75,000 or less. We're not cutting the grade. We ask you to give us all that money, but what are we doing? You're not making enough money. Especially for these people here. This is sadness. Now remember, the board of directors, they passed the self-serving salary stipends on June 26, 2016, after our prior contract negotiations had broken down, the 2016 to 2020 contract. And so we give you some information here. But the key is we paid out over 600 and some thousand in stipends. But those salary stipends for the statewide officers, you see right here, you'll see all the money that was paid. Remember, our contract negotiations from our prior contract had broken down, but they held a marathon board of directors meeting to get the money. Now, I don't know how you have a meeting with rubber, rules, and water for that long without somebody losing their natural born mind. They can't even give me a meeting for 20 minutes without losing their mind. They did that thing for almost 24 hours. But you don't hear about that part. They don't talk about that. All this money has been paid. Teresa Taylor, who sits on the CalPERS board, who's now the president of CalPERS, she made $30,000 in salary stipends. Now you understand why she wants to run me out of here? her and Bill Hall? Because somehow they want to finagle to get that salary stipend money. Them and Irene Green too. I'm so fortunate that Annika Walls and David Jimenez, they don't want the salary stipend. I'm so fortunate of that. Inflation and the cost of living. Again, I'm not authorizing the salary stipends. We've saved $450,000 in stipends. And then with the future savings, if the money that we're not going to pay in salary stipends, along with the money that's already been paid, we're under $1 million. That's good money to save, to use in other areas. Now, should we stand with this governor? Well, what do you think? Gavin is humbly asking you if you could make a $5 contribution to my reelection before our end of month deadline at midnight. Please, it adds up. We're all chipping in. We are tracking donations at this link. Thank you. He's asking you to chip into his reelection. Oh, wait a minute. I wonder if he has time to meet me for the essential worker premium pay petition. Maybe if I chip in and say, hey, Gavin, can we talk? Maybe he'll have time to talk to me then. If I give him $5. Maybe I'll make it $100. Maybe if our union made it, I don't know, $1 million. Oh, maybe we'll do a special board meeting and I'll say, hey, let's give Gavin $1 million for his re-election campaign. I bet they'll show up for that one. I'll have to laugh. Now, my vision for the 2023 spring bargaining. Our contract ends on June 30th, 2023. It does not end this year. Let me say this for you again. Let me sit down and say this for you. Because I've been saying this over and over and over again. Our contract does not end on June 30th, 2022. It does not end this year. It ends next year, June 30th, 2023. And that's why I say on here, my vision for the 2023 spring bargaining. That's why I say that. We start bargaining in the spring, but we start having our SBACs this year for our statewide bargaining advisory committee with all our district bargaining unit representatives, getting all the ideas together on what issues we need to address for the future contract and how we're going to organize for it after we educate ourselves on our past failures. All right? Now, we will no longer be a child and just take, I'm going to read this one. My vision for bargaining is radically different than the past. Local 1000 will no longer be a child. You're not a child. We're not going to be treated as such. We're adults. And just take what is given to us without a ferocious fight. In other words, we're already doing it. We didn't take what the state told us to take on that telework agreement. $50, $25, oh, we'll tax it, and be thankful that we gave it to you. Oh, no. No, you want to impose that on us and say, take it, and we ain't doing anything else? Well, then you do that. Because then that tells us really how you feel about us. But it is the election year. Oh, yes. And that's not going to look, boy. See, listen to this. That's not going to look good on the state of California. And that's why they don't want to, quote, declare an impasse. Because it's going to make him look bad because he couldn't come up with a deal with the largest public sector union in the state of California. And 2 other unions. See, the other 9 just rolled over. But there's 3 unions, us, AFSCME, and I think the Union of American Physicians and Dentists, I believe. We haven't rolled over. Because we're smart. We are a labor union, all 3 of us. And we have labor leaders leading our union. we will actually, for the first time in Local 1000 history, truly bargain for a quality contract where our dignity is not decided by Cal HR. Our dignity 5.11 will not be decided at Cal HR Step 3. You're not going to keep disrespecting us, then we file a grievance, and then you make the final decision after you disrespected us about our dignity, when you're the problem to begin with. As long as I'm your chief negotiator, you can book that. And you can book the Juneteenth. Oh, by the way, I think someone said it's Black History Month. So sometimes it's hard for me to keep up all these different human rights committees and the different ethnic months of celebration. I guess because I'm black and I'm black every day, that I think every day is Black History for me. So I don't know. Moving on. A 21% pay increase, 21% general salary increase for everyone across the board. Because we know that people need that money. Everyone needs their money. All right. And that's me. I'm not going to pick and choose only a few special classifications to get more money than the rest. I'll be fighting for the same, 21% for everyone equally. We're not going to play into the state's game of trying to, this is critical, we're not going to play into the state's game of trying to divide and conquer us. They've been doing that since the time we became a union. Yeah. Years ago, when we were California State Employees Association, they separated the job classifications to the bargaining units. They separated you then. Okay? That's going to stop. So that's me talking some more about, this is for the bargaining team. The idea of working you these long hours, that's a bullying strategy that's used against you. And some of the bargaining leaders knew that, and they went right along with it. This bullying strategy was devised to exhaust your mental faculties so you would just simply stop fighting and give in and keep the status quo. I will not lead bargaining that way. My bunk will make informed decisions about our contract after they are well rested. You don't want someone who's tired and exhausted making decisions about your finances. No, you don't. You don't want no tired doctor working on you for surgery. You want that doctor well rested and have a good, happy life. You don't want no depressed doctor coming into the surgery room, upset over his family or whatever is going on in his personal life, talking about he's getting ready or she's getting ready to operate on you. No, you don't. But if you do, that's on you. I don't want that. Our bargaining team, we're going to make sure they have time that they need, and we're not going to disrespect their families. And we will not let the state set the pace. But we're already doing that now with the Telework agreement. They're not setting the pace for us. We're going to be equal partners in this relationship. Because that's the way it should be between management and labor. The two sides come together and find a mutual working relationship. Harmonious relationship. Like a husband and a wife. We will finally get a substantial pay increase. No divisive special salary adjustments. That's over. Now, we're going to move on here. State of California can easily afford a 20% pay increase. They can easily afford one. You see all this $1 billion surplus? You see all this? When they tell you that, well, we can't afford to do this, we can't afford to do that. That's a lie. That is an absolute lie that the state of California is telling you they can't afford to pay you a substantial pay increase of 21%. That's a lie. 21 billion, or almost 22 billion, almost 6 billion, 76 billion, scheduled 46 billion for this upcoming fiscal period. Billions upon billions upon billions of dollars. And they tell you they can't afford basically a $1.5 billion cut to them. They can't pay us out a $1.5 billion? Give me a break. Now, our board of directors' salary statistics. Our board, over $5 million in annual salary. Average salary, just over $79,000. We have the state bar at the highest. Then we have some other people on the board that make high salaries. Then we have other people on the board whose salaries are not so high. And we're showing you the range. Our union is almost 98,000. We were close to 100,000 when I started, but people retire. We're over 730 different job classifications. The most populous job classification, AGPA, the Associate Governmental Program Analyst and Bargaining Unit 1. That's the most populous. So for the fourth largest economy on earth, these AGPAs, they're needed. They are in high demand. They're the step before management. And they do a lot of work. How good are these AGPAs? How good are they? Are they that critical to the success of California? Are they more critical than the other job classifications? No, they're not. They're no better than you. This AGPA is no better than the custodian. They're no better than the transportation engineering technician. They're no better than the office technician that keeps that whole office going. We're all equal in this. You AGPAs, I hope you're listening. You're no better than anyone else. You say, well, who do you think you are? Well, I'm the president of Local 1000, but I'm also a damn AGPA, since you're talking. Moving on. And so the highest position, now, for the state bar, you're almost at 200,000. But our 9 bargaining units that's in our contract, the senior pension actuary is almost at 180,000. And then they'll be close to 184 as of July 1st, 2022. Where do these people work at? CalPERS. Lowest paid, the OTs, the custodians, the CNAs, certified nursing assistants, working in those prisons and state hospitals. These 3 groups doing all this work. Remember, the OTs want to work from home, and they're always told, you got to come to work? You thought I missed that. CNAs, custodians, oh goodness. What don't the custodians go through? And we want to complain with these other job classifications. These people literally do all the dirty work. God bless the custodians. Now, here we go. So, all of our salaries as of July 1st, 2022 will be close to $7 million. And then if you look at total compensation, the salary and the benefits and taxes and all that, we're at 9.6. So 21% on top of that 9.6 or whatever, over $2 billion for total compensation. Can the state afford to give us over $2 billion in the next contract? Absolutely they can. Absolutely. This idea that 21% pay increase is too much money, that's a lie. I've been telling you this all along. This is one of the reasons why they're trying to run me up out of here. Because I'm exposing these people for what they are. The money's there. You know how they always, the U.S. government tells you, oh, we can't afford to do this and we can't afford to do that, but they'll turn right around and ship billions upon billions upon billions to foreign countries. And then you wonder why some people say America first. You wonder why some people say that. Because America can always find the money because they print the money out of thin air anyway. So the money's always there. You just got to create that need, that urgency to get the money. In the state of California, they know that I realize this. You cannot lie to me. They'll tell you that there's no money for this and there's no money for that. And then they'll turn right around a few days later and you hear Gavin Newsom on TV talking about spending 100 here, 300 million there, We got to do this. We got to do that. Yeah, whatever. The money's there. You just got to have a leader that's going to let the state know you're not pushing us. You've been pushing us in the ground for years and years and years. That is over. It's over. You may think that we're another brick in the wall. You may think that. Keep thinking that. Don't sleep on Local 1000. Here we go. Average salary, $69,600 across the board for us. And then it'll be over $71,000 on July 1st, 2022. And then we talk about these special salary adjustments. I call them divisive because I don't get no special salary adjustment, but you do. Oh, so you're better than I am. So you're more important to the economy than me, but we're both in this together. Oh, okay, I got it. Okay. Yeah, all right. Anytime you don't pay people equally and you favor somebody else, you're going to cause problems and you're going to cause division. That's not going to happen with me as the president and the chief negotiator of your contract. Here's your number, 44% membership, Unit 1. So when DLC 768 president was talking about this, well, here it is. Yeah, there's a possibility they're trying to raid us. I haven't heard this. But let me say this. Remember when they said we had to be afraid because of this Tim Draper? And I said, relax. Remember I said, relax. Relax. Take it easy. I said, I'm going to get at Tim Draper. I'm going to make him go away. I said, I need some information. I said, I need some information first. Just the basic facts. And y'all said, oh, you become crazy, Richard. No, I just need some basic facts about Tim Draper. And I'm not comfortably numb. And I'm not crazy. Tim Draper is gone. The Tim Draper disappearance is gone. Boom. No money was spent. We saved millions of dollars. We didn't overreact. We didn't get all emotional. He's gone. Bye-bye. Moving on. And so we talk about the highest paid in Unit 1. And then we talk about the lowest paid in Unit 1. And we did this for all the different job classifications. This is fantastic. And we're going through Unit 3. I want to get to Unit 11. Hold on. Unit 4. All right, so I'm going to get to Unit 11. Here we go. 42%. Since that unit was brought up. And there are my techs. Transportation engineering technicians. 583 of them. 583 of them. I see you, Tets. You know who I am. We're going to go through. Hold on. Wait a minute. Unit 15, our custodians and our food service technicians. They're just at $15 an hour. And they'll be just over that on July 1st, 2022. That's no good. That's no good. That won't work. I'm going to tell you that. People say, why are you so insistent on a 20% pay increase? Right here. The custodians. And I know other job classifications, the TETs, the CCRAs, Correctional Case Records Analysts, those who draw blood, the lab assistants in bargaining unit 11 that should actually be in bargaining unit 20. Wait a minute. Yeah, 20. That's what they should be. There are quite a few job classifications. The OTs, who aren't getting paid enough money. I'm telling you this. You keep me here. You may not like me. You may not like the clothes I wear. You may not like them silly videos I do. But the one thing about Richard, when it comes to that money, you know Richard is going to get you that money. Now, you may not like my tactics. And you may not like my behavior. Because you know I'm from Africa. So we do things differently in Africa. So, this won't work. This has to be corrected. We're going to keep going. A bunch of slides. Here's what we did for you. Here's what we did. A bunch of slides. A bunch. We gave you Bargain Unit 1, the class code, the classification that's currently right now, the minimum, the maximum, the average salary of that job classification. We gave you the medium, the number in the middle, and we told you the number of employees currently for every job classification. That's a bunch of slides. We're not going to go through all that. It's too much. Too much education. But what we are going to do, here's what we are going to talk about. Hold on. A lot of work. Let's go. We're trying to go through all this stuff fast. Like a college class at nighttime. You ready to go home? Here we go. Questions? Yeah, I know you got a lot. I see hands raised. I'm going to sit down here in a second. Thanks to our amazing research department. Kenny, Jack, and Roger. Kenny Sims, Jack McGlynn, and Roger White. And I also want to give a shout out to the IT. Hey, Key. And to the director in IT, Brent Fitzpatrick, and his wonderful IT team. And I'm also give a shout out to the communications director and his team. Oh, what's his name? Gosh, his name's on the tip of my tongue. Brian Nash. All right, so we're going to go back through this a little bit slower, but this is a foundation for people to take a look at. This is going to drive our ability to increase membership. It's going to affect our SBAC, because we've given you a lot of information tonight, and we've given you a lot of information on prior PowerPoints about prior contracts. And it's really important, because if you don't know your past, then you can't prepare for your present to go to the future. You just can't do it. You have to go back and study. All right, next caller, Angela Morales Myers. Good evening, Angela. You can unmute.
Hello, well, good evening.
Hi.
How are you, President Brown?
I'm doing good.
Good. So I think all the state of California has my phone number, but
Okay.
I say that I give it out liberally to everyone, just because I want to. I do have a concern, and I just want to address it, and I want the members to know that they can do something. If they want, they can call the MRC at 866-471-7348. And you know what? Start letting our reps know that, I don't know what the policy is. I guess I should start there on giving out my membership information. And if we as members come together and maybe say, hey, what's the purpose of giving out our information? What are you going to use that information for? I don't know if I get kind of like leery, I guess, when these people are trying to push an agenda that me as a voter, and I'm a dues paying member, so I got to vote. And that's really important to me, because, I mean, you look at our country and how much division there is right now, and it's really sad that these individuals can't just put that aside and just move on already. I don't want anyone to have my information, because I know they will do surveys or whatever unless it's for the greater good for SEIU president.
Right.
So I want them to call, and I challenge you, members that are listening, call the membership, or call the MRC tomorrow. Let them know that, you know what, you have a voice. You call them and you let them know that you're not satisfied. I mean, that's what your dues are paying for. Hey, I voted, and I want my vote to stand.
That's right.
And you know what? Let's take that approach as well. I mean, there's a lot of good things going on right now. I know the people that I've talked to are not happy with what's going on. I've been trying to tell them what's going on. I post up stuff about, what's on the website, but I want them to visually see it, and I let them know. And I mean, I know they're thankful, but to that extent about the organizing, I don't know what's going on, but I just want people to know you can contact the Member Resource Center and let them know, look, I want you to know that this is who I voted for, and I want it to stand. I want you, and I want to go on record to let you know that, you know what, I voted for you. So I'm calling the MRC tomorrow, and I'm going to tell them, you know what, I'm a dues paying member, and I would like to go on record stating that I want my vote to count, and I want it to stay there. And anything else that comes along, I don't want you to have anything in mind. I'm just saying these things because I want to blow up the MRC. And I say that only because I want to see who is really paying attention and really, we talk about dividing our union. Well, let's bring it back. Let's start from, if we have to, let's start from there. Let's go there. I challenge anyone that's listening on Facebook, YouTube, here to call and say, look, I voted for this individual, and I want my vote to count. I don't appreciate what's going on. It's a waste of my money, and that would be the other thing. Are they using money, union money, to do this? Do they think they're going to get reimbursed for what they're doing?
Yes. Not to cut you off.
Okay.
There's a great possibility, I don't have the facts, but there's a great possibility that any legal help that Bill Hall, DLC 744 President Bill Hall, and the other little, as I say with love and respect, the hateful eight, whatever legal help they're getting, if they're able to destroy the voice of the voters and remove me from office, disbar me from re-election, whatever attorneys are helping them, they will be reimbursed handsomely. That's a promise.
Well, I don't think that they should be able to do that. I mean, it's just my opinion. I don't think it's a good way of our union money. I don't. First of all, I don't understand where they think they get the authority to be able to call that meeting. I mean, I'm sorry, Mr. President. You should have. I'm going to just say it.
No, say it.
There should have been action taken a long time ago for this behavior. I mean, if I'm going through the LAPS program, I'm going through the fast track. And if I am doing something that another member in my DLC does not agree with, there's an HR1 on me going. And the lady that spoke earlier, I don't remember her name, that's under Bill Hall's DLC is not getting the proper representation. That's a clear indication that she should be filing HR1 because there's no one there helping her. That's in his DLC. Why is he not taking care of his members? So anyways, I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to go on record. Let's blow up the MRC tomorrow. You guys, if you're on Facebook, whatever, call him, tell him, you know what, I voted for Richard. Because if you're looking at this, more than likely you voted for you. So.
You know what? So here's what I would say, and you make a great point. Whether you like me or not, the fact that someone is trying to remove the president and disbar him from re-election, you are destroying the voice of the voters in this country, regardless of the fact of how certain people came from certain countries and how Native Americans had wars, lost the wars, and their treaties were broken time and time again. And then regardless of the fact of the Mexican-American War, after that war, oftentimes land was embezzled from the mestizos in the Southwest. And regardless of the fact of how my family's family got here, we are still a democratic society. We just have some severe character faults that we have to overcome. These people in this union who were attempting to do this great injustice, who had their minds made up after they heard that I won, that they were not going to work with me. All of this will come out. We must keep the faith. We cannot lose hope. Tonight's about money. My mind was centered tonight on this PowerPoint presentation, and it was centered on financial freedom and financial suffering. Okay? It's always about the money in this country. That's why my ancestors were brought here. Free labor. It's always about the money in this country. That's why they came over looking for financial success along with religious freedom. The European settlers. Money, money, money. That's why we fought for the Southwest, for Texas and California. Money, farmland, right by the ocean. This battle of them trying to remove me from office, again, is about the money. Listen to this. You know in your heart, as long as I'm your chief negotiator, you're going to get some money. Or we're going to shut the state down after bargaining in good faith for a period of time. You know that. The staff knows it. Don't you know it, Brian? You know it. Everybody knows it. This is part of why they have to remove me, because I'm showing you that you don't have to be abused anymore. And they tell you to take the abuse because you volunteered for it. But even when you volunteer for the military, they can no longer, listen to why I say this, they can no longer just treat you any kind of way because there's a good possibility you will die for the country. God bless your soul, men and women. And they put you through all this abuse telling you that for the pension, it's worth it. Is it? For some people, it is. For the young people, it is not worth it. That's why it's so compelling and why it's so hard to get young people to join Local 1000 or to join any union across this country, because they've been, quote, brainwashed from school, high school or college, that unions are no longer needed in this country, and that's an absolute lie. When the rich have gotten richer and the poor have gotten poorer and your middle class is shrinking. It's an absolute lie. This is why so many people leave other countries to come to this country, because there is a middle class. What they're trying to do here in this union is destroy everything a union stands for. I have told you they don't like the fact that I'm a black man. You say, well, don't make this a racial issue. It will always be a racial issue because I will always be black. And the way they've treated me, the way they've come at me, that tells you they had no intention to ever work with me. And with the intensity and with that racial cartoon character that they put up on Facebook and then they yanked it off real quick, but we already have a copy of it. They're exposing themselves. That's what they're doing. And they tell you that we're not trying to destroy the union. We're not racist, Richard. We're not prejudiced, Richard. We had a black woman that was the head of the union. You had a... Look. Since this is Black History Month, I'm not going to talk about all the amazing African Americans who have contributed greatly to this country. A lot of Americans, regardless of their color, have contributed greatly to this country's success. But here's what I do know. There's only one group of people in this country that was put in chains because of the color of their skin. This is what I do know. And they weren't called indentured servants. Maybe the initial ones were, but they put the word slave on us. And sometimes you had slaves on the plantation who would do everything they could to keep slavery going. They didn't want to rock the boat. They were happy with their place. They liked the status quo. They liked the crumbs that the plantation owner, master, would give them, because they had a little place. Maybe they had a place in the house. Well, as you can see, I didn't make it to the house. I'm glad I didn't, because I would have burnt the house down. Which is maybe what I'm doing symbolically with love and peace, because we don't promote violence in this country. Then I'm burning the house down, the state of California, over all the things they have done to destroy the lives of our people in Local 1000. And because I'm a man of color, they feel they can run up on me and say anything and do anything they want to me, and there's nothing I can do against it. That is an absolute wrong idea. They think they can just run me off and remove me from office. You're not removing me from office. God put me here. I'm going to keep fighting. I don't really want to talk about Bill Hall, but it appears that people are so upset about Bill Hall now, which I was trying to tell y'all this months ago, but that's fine. I'm always way out ahead of the curve. We're going to keep the faith. Bill has sent, these little emails asking for this information, just like Teresa Taylor did months ago. And we're going to get the information. Because you know what? I'm not trying to break the laws. I'm not trying to hide. I'm not trying to steal any money. Every time they tell you that I'm trying to steal money, they're the ones who are guilty. Remember they told you at the day spa? Remember that $4,528 gift to the former chief of staff? Remember the $1,800, Teresa Taylor? See, they always want to do all this talk about what I'm doing wrong. And let me address this right now. I'm not gonna keep this hidden anymore. I guess there's recalls. I had to acknowledge recall letters. There are people on Facebook saying that I'm the one behind the recalls. I am not behind no doggone recall. I'm trying to unify the union. I am trying to unify this union. When has Bill Hall ever brought himself on this Zoom call and talked to me like a man? He never has, and he never will. Because it's not in him. The truth of God is not in him. Neither has Teresa Taylor. DOC 767 president at the time, Richard Wake, he's tried to come on here, and you saw how I walked him down. I got all his text messages where he calls me a coward and a chicken. Is that harassment? Is that belittling me as a black man? Oh, I don't know. You tell me. What if I called Richard Wake a chicken and a coward? He would have a holy hissy fit. Any of these people, if I called them a chicken or a coward. But they say anything they want to me because they said, you will take it. Because they don't respect me. But I'm in a great mood tonight. Know when to fall down, know when to run. Well, let me tell you something. I know when to run. I know when I'm in the streets and Tyrone says, hey man, I ain't feeling too good, my life ain't going anywhere and I don't like you. That's time to run. Yeah, Tyrone. Or Deshaun or DeKente, you know the names. You know what time it is. That's when I run. I'm not running from this. They'll tell you that he's afraid and he's afraid to do this and he's afraid to do that. No, what I'm doing is protecting the members' voices. That's what I'm doing, and I've been doing that since I've arrived. I've even protected those who don't pay money to this union, trying to inspire them to join Local 1000. Let me stop preaching. All right, Gerald Douglas. Good evening, Gerald.
How you doing, President Brown?
Doing great. How are you?
Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, loud and clear.
Awesome, awesome. First, I'd like to say the PowerPoint was excellent. Right on. Excellent PowerPoint. I want to say thank you, first of all, to my DLC president, 772, Mary Taylor Cruz.
Okay.
And I want to say thank you to Cheryl. I believe it was Cheryl Allen
That's
that
right.
was on earlier, correct?
That's
She
right.
brought up Unit 11. And, man, I appreciate that so much. She's a real one.
Right.
Someone that can be against the revote that we were fighting for, but then come on and admit to it and then say, hey, her views now may be a little different than before, and stick with the new president. She respects the vote that you're in office, and that's commendable. I want to say thank you, Cheryl.
Okay.
It's one of your soul brothers here.
All
One
right.
of the Save Our Unions.
Save our union's life. Save our union's life. Let's give Cheryl her must.
There we go. That's what
okay.
the hell was. I was trying to get that one figured out.
All right.
I just want to say our Barton Unit 11 chair, he doesn't respect our transportation engineering technician's best interest. And there's a guy on the bunk there too. He's a technician, and actually he's kind of against us for whatever reason. But his name's Albert Manfredini. So if you hear anything from him trying to represent us, he doesn't.
Got the message.
Put that out there. We tried to get a JLMC years ago. We've been at this for, about 3 or 4 contracts. We put together a classification report, and we sent that out to, everybody we could, Cal HR, the union, our management. We even had the opportunity to sit down with the director of the Department of Transportation. That person's usually, if they aren't already in office when a new governor comes in, the governor appoints, we sat down with him. He talked about the attrition rate being one of the reasons why we're in our situation, supposedly why they aren't doing anything.
Okay.
But I think it was just the department excuse. We were at about 900 plus techs, but now we're down to, I think the number you showed earlier, were approximately 500, 600, something like that.
That's correct.
So our numbers have been dropping, which really isn't good. But I won't stay on long. You mentioned guy Bill Hall. Years ago, I had a tech go to one of his meetings up in the Bay Area, and she didn't have a great experience. And I know some of the techs had some issues at their offices up that way, and they were getting no help. I didn't know who the guy was at the time, but now it's revealing on why our techs in that area didn't get any help. He seems to not be doing his job as president of DLC. So I just wanted to put that out there. I had a question. I mentioned that classification report. Is it possible to have your research department look at our classification report and give some feedback? We sat down with our district directors with the classification report. This is the Transportation Engineering Technician Classification Report. We put it together ourselves over the years.
Yep.
We didn't get any help from time off for the union. We didn't get any help from our department. We did our own research. Because we work directly with Unit 9 engineers, and we see them just get increases after year, things put in their contract we can't get. We were within 5% of their range C, our range C technicians at one point. It's now approximately 45% gap. There's a term in that, the proper term to use in the MOU. It's not a gap, it's a different term. I gotta look that back up. But it went from a 5% range to like approximately 45. And in their MOU, well, let me backtrack. In our MOU under Unit 11, it says specifically that an engineering technician can never make more than Unit 9 engineer. I mean, it's specific in our MOU. We agree to those terms. You know, some people think we just want money. That's not the issue. We don't have any upward mobility. I've been maxed out in my position for the last 2 decades. So only thing we'll get is increases. If anything, we get cost of living increase. We used to get COLA, things of that nature. We've been fighting for a salary parity adjustment because we've done the research and we have the documentation. So after sitting with Cal HR, trying to make a long story short, and dealing with our department, we kind of find out when we sat down with the last president, and she brought lawyers to try to tell us that our classification report, not specifically the report, but that we were overpaid. We know we're not. We did our research. So if we could just get some feedback from your research department with the classification report we put together, to see where we really stand, you know, now that we have a real president in office now.
So,
and we know you're doing the right thing.
So you know what, Joe, you have my word on this. As long as I'm your president and chief negotiator of your contract, you're not going to be treated like that. And this bargaining Unit 11 chair, Brad Willis, who voted against the proposed 2022 budget for the staff here, we know how he is. We know he doesn't care. And I hope he hears about this. I hope that someone calls and tells him. Everybody has my phone number. I'm not going to let Bargaining Unit 11 down. You're not going to be forced to do a revote. But we're not going to be,
I'm currently now at Deber, sir. I'm currently now at Deber.
Right.
And I've heard that he's having like JLMCs for groups of his interests, I'll put it that way. And I'm trying to be involved just to be, but he's not like giving any feedback. He's not really responsive. What should I do in that case?
I would keep sending them emails and document all your emails that you're trying to talk to him, because if you're a D-Bear and he's not willing to talk to you, and you're in an elected position, that's wrong. Someone, a caller earlier, I think it was Angela Morales Myers, was talking about people filing HR1s, and to file HR1 is one thing. To get the board, 2/3 vote of the board to take action is another thing. So, there's quite a few things in our policy file. But as long as I'm here, Gerald, as the president of Local 1000 with my powers, and I'm the chief negotiator, you can be reassured that Bargaining Unit 11 doesn't have to worry about no nonsense. Now, I've told y'all this repeatedly, and I have not backed off, and I'm not going to back off. There's ways of quote, working with people or, quote, dealing with people. You people in Bargaining Unit 11 will not be bullied. And then the rest of you and I will talk about off this call. All right. I want to thank Gerald Douglas, 772, for calling in and giving a shout. He gave a shout out to his president, DLC president, Mary Dela Cruz. They also gave a shout out to DLC 768 President Cheryl Allen and her great acronym, SOUL. Save our union's life. SOUL. How many of us have SOUL? All right. So, next caller, Brian Burns. Go ahead, Brian.
Hello, President Brown. Thank you so much for having me. I just want to thank you for, I'm going through the labs training to be a steward, so I'm just starting to get involved with the union. So I have a kind of specific question relating to the Health and Safety Committee. If you can give me an update on, I work for the Department of Motor Vehicles, and I know the union just issued a cease and desist letter for the blatant disregard for our health and safety. And that was just issued on January 11th. I'm wondering what steps or anything, if we've done a kind of a joint labor management committee and working with the DMV and trying to figure out how to address the specific blatant disregard for the health and safety.
So Brian, what I would say is contact your steward. If you don't know who your steward is, call our MRC at 866-471-7348. And let's let the rep look into this. I know there's problems in DMV. We've already looked into it. We're taking each situation as an individual situation. But, if you don't know who your steward is, you don't know who your DLC president is, you can also go to our website and find out who that is as well. Our Health and Safety Committee is also on our website, and their emails should be on there for you to contact them. They're all
up north. They're all up north, and we don't really have anyone on the Health and Safety Committee that is from Southern California. They're all from one geographic location. So I did kind of look into that as well, but this is kind of systemic issues that kind of plague all the DMVs and all the locations. So that wouldn't a joint labor management committee be more appropriate to deal with the unique problems at the field offices and keeping the OCIU members safe and providing a safe workplace?
Brian, I can't tell you yes or no, because some people. And let me tell you why, Brian. Some people would say yes, and some people would say that those joint labor management committees are not doing anything. So there is two sides to this coin, because some people said that the DMV Heat team years ago didn't do anything, and other people love the DMV Heat team. So that's a tricky question that you're asking me.
But we haven't had a joint labor management committee for the DMV under your leadership. So again, you are trying to change how stuff is done. So why
Brian,
not try to? Sorry.
No, Brian.
Man.
So Brian,
I want to bring you into the DMV, man. Let's get you some of your energy into the DMV.
Hold on, hey, hold on, Brian. Listen. I have said this repeatedly to people. When you invite me to your work site, I show up. And someone who's called earlier, and I'm not going to put that person's name out there, they invited me to their DMV, and I did show up. So, you know, I know there's some problems in the DMV field offices. Someone has challenged me, and I said I accept the challenge. For some reason, DMV does not want those emails or those in field offices. They don't want those people to be able to receive emails. And so we're going to have to be able to communicate to them through personal emails. Well, why is that just now coming up when I arrived on the scene? Why is that just now an issue? I've always known that was an issue. And when they had the DMV heat team that's been in place for many, many years that was supposed to be doing this great job, why weren't those personal emails of the DMV field offices already established then? So when you say these things to me, I respect it. But I'm here to tell you that, you know, just putting together a joint labor management committee is not going to solve that issue. Or maybe it will. We don't know. Okay. And hopefully he'll email me at rlbrown@seiu1000.org. I know that we have problems with the state of California on these issues, and we have done many different steps. The first step was to make sure that no one had to be vaccinated, excluding the healthcare workers. And then part of that agreement was if the testing requirements were not correct, we would grieve that. And we have done a lot of things on the COVID situation that's up on our transparent website. So we are taking action. Have we been able to give everybody perfect satisfaction? No, we have not. We'll move on to the next caller, Yolanda Williams. Good evening, Yolanda.
Good evening, Mr. Brown and members. First of all, I'd like to say regarding Governor Newsom, you were speaking about him, and it really, really bothers me too, Richard and members, that this guy could care less about the people who are running the state and giving us our essential pay. Because he gets out here promoting and walking around all the time talking about $10,000 for the college students for community service. But wait. What about the people who are keeping this state running? Did you not forget about us? Mm-hmm. Obviously you have. You see? So, you know, I'm right along with you with the fact that, you know, if we bargain in good faith and all that, hey, honey, I'm ready to go out there and fight. I'm ready to get my stick and my poster and strike. That's what I'm ready for. Then make a statement, you know, because we're stronger in numbers. And if we have to do what we have to do, then so be it. Like you said before, you know, I'm a fighter. You said that, I am too. And I think most of these people on this call and people who really want this union to thrive, they're fighters. And so with that, that's with my comment with Mr. Gavin Newsom. Then also, you say you always want to come down and visit, and don't tell you that hey, come and visit my office and you don't show up. Well, it's been almost a year.
Yeah,
I didn't ask you to come.
No, you're right. You're right. Keep talking.
Wait, let me finish.
Okay.
I didn't ask Mr. Brown to come down to Southern California to visit my office, and you ain't stepped a foot down there yet. So I'm just putting it out there. But you said you're gonna come.
You know what, Yolanda?
You said you're gonna come.
You know what, Yolanda?
What?
You're right. And when you told me to get those petitions, you had to tell me a second time, and then I moved.
You moved, yeah.
And then you told me to come down there, and I have told these assistants, I said, I got to take myself down to Southern California. And I said certain names, haven't I not? And I said, this is a person that when I go down there, I have to see her at her work site, period, in a conversation. So here's what I'll say to you. Oh, I'm coming, Yolanda. You can book it. And you ain't gonna be no July when I get down there. That's a promise. Here's the second thing. When you go to work, is the staff still coming in to work every day?
They are coming in like they've been coming in.
What's your agency? What's your agency again?
Agency is Department of Healthcare Access Information.
Text me your agency and your address. Okay, go ahead.
And the last thing that I want to say is I think there should be some type of what do you call it, survey or something about the possible OTs and their ability to telework, because it seems to me that a lot of OTs are not being able to telework because we're at the low paying wage, and it's like everybody else and the new jobs that are coming out on the job bulletin all say, well, possibilities to work from home and this and that, and it's leaving out the OTs. This is not right, and that needs to be looked into. So OTs, I mean, we need to really come together, because like Richard said, and as the PowerPoint shows, we low, but we do a lot of work. And I think that a lot of people take us for granted. Okay?
And you know what, Yolanda? I'm running through these slides again. Here's the funny thing. When we did the survey, we did 2 surveys for the telework. And I said that financial justification, the state has to provide us a financial justification on why they can't have someone telework. Well, you know that they can't, because for all of these years that people have been teleworking, we never lost place with the economy as the 4th largest economy on earth. Here's the other thing about Unit 4. The most populous classification, Yolanda, the OTs. And here's the most important thing about Unit 4, with the most populous classification being the OTs. Your membership rate's at 65%. Unit 4 should be able to get what the hell they want. But you know why Unit 4 hasn't really gotten anything? Because no one has cared. Which means, does that mean that the current bunk chair has never cared? Does that mean that the prior bunk chair before her has never cared? I don't know. That's up to debate. But I can tell you this, I care. And as long as I'm the president and chief negotiator of this contract, people are not going to go through all these crazy games. And so these people who are clowning me on Facebook and clowning me for not taking that money, well, just take what the state gives you. Because we are a labor union. We negotiate. We just don't take what somebody gives us. And these people...
I appreciate you bringing that up and speaking a couple meetings ago in regards to the fact that you're going to do something about this, and so hopefully we will see this happen, because this is so wrong, and we, like you said, we have a lot of OTs, so hopefully something will get done about it. So I appreciate you bringing it up. I was like, big ups to you for actually acknowledging the fact that this quote unquote business needs, essential needs, they use that like water. It's just ridiculous, and they can't back it up. And that's a way of basically harassing an individual or discriminating on certain people to say, well, you got to come in all the time, even though you can do the work at home. So this is what the union needs to fight, because you can do the work at home, but they're saying, oh no, business needs and essential needs. So they need to back it up, like you said before. The union, needs to make sure that they're able to back that up. How is it going to affect the money? How is it going to affect this? How is it going to affect that if this person stay at home 2 days, 3 days a week and come in twice a week? How is that going to affect? So that's what I'm looking for.
And let me verify this. You're still working during the day. They haven't put you on no crazy hours. You're still working 7 to 5 or whatever?
No, I work every day, Monday through Friday, have been ever since the shutdown. Everybody in my department, because they put me in their department, works from home. Okay? I'm the only one that come in every day. And they'll come in probably twice a week. Some of them I haven't seen since December 2020. Haven't stepped foot in there.
And you're working during the daytime.
And I work during the daytime. But they'll tell you, oh, well, it's your title. They changed the policy to go coincide with what they're doing. Well, it's the policy now, depending on your job classification. You need to come in. For what is it? Is it essential now? But, a couple years ago, it was essential. Now it's your job position. You see, when the state decided to make it, all of us who can work at home this possible, then they're going to the department try to change the policy to fit what they're doing. It's wrong as all outdoors, I'm telling you. And I'm going to fight it till I can't fight no more. Because this department is racist, and I'm gonna put it out there.
And here's what I would say. You know, when African Americans, black folks, we all have our outlook, and we know in our heart when someone's treating us with fairness and respect. And when you tell me that they're being racist to you, I will not question you. I will not do that. Because when I have said that there are some people in this union who may be racist, listen to how I say this, they may be racist. Are they prejudiced? Can't prove that. But I didn't call them prejudiced, I didn't call them racist, but they're showing me behaviors of people who are racist and prejudiced. I know because I'm from the state of Missouri. You will
Well,
see.
they'll tell me in a minute, oh no, you know what, there's some black people that work here. Yeah, they sure are. They working, they teleworking, and they ain't gonna throw a rock in their glass house. They ain't gonna rock the boat. They ain't gonna say, okay, all right, I'm gonna do what you say. You're right, because they ain't gonna rock the boat.
You know
See
what?
what I'm saying?
No, yeah, because you heard my metaphor earlier about the plantation. All right.
Exactly. Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome, and you will see me. I can guarantee you that, and it won't be long. All right, next caller, Frank Askin. Good evening, Frank.
Good evening, Richard. Can you hear me?
Oh, loud and clear, Frank. Go ahead.
Couple of things. Earlier on this evening, you said showing some love. How about showing some love to Brother Michael Gus?
Okay.
And allowing him to speak. I mean, because that's one of our First Amendment rights is freedom of speech.
Okay. Okay.
And also, I wanted to point out, back in October, with that Board of Directors meeting.
You mean? Hold on. Wait. You mean the illegal, out of order, improper insurrectionist board meeting that was held at the California Democratic headquarters in downtown Sacramento? Is that the meeting you're talking about that I didn't call for?
Well, you can call it that if that's what you want, but I call it a Board of Directors meeting.
No, stop right there. You can't call it a Board of Directors meeting because the president of Local 1000 did not call that meeting. So I'm going to stop you right there. So try again.
Okay, well, following that meeting, on that following day, we were supposed to have a walkthrough in my job site with the Vice President of Bargaining.
Yes.
Irene Green.
Sure.
And that Monday, she was locked out, and I had called you previously on this, and you said, well, you guys were going to show up at CYAB. Well, here it is. February 2022.
Okay.
Several months later, and we're still waiting. We've never seen any one of you guys at my work site there, and
I tell you
we've
what,
got people who would love to meet you. And that following week, I believe me and you were supposed to go out to lunch. We were supposed to have lunch, and for some reason, it was canceled that week.
So here's what we'll do. What is the name of your agency that you work at again?
The California Unemployment Insurance Appeals Board over on Venture Oaks.
On Venture Oaks?
Yes, right next to Skiff. Right off the freeway there, right off of Gateway Oaks Boulevard. We're like one exit up from the Holiday Inn where the SBAC usually is held.
So you're out the I-5?
Yes.
Okay. So, Irene Green, let's talk about that real quick. She went to the insurrectionist meeting. She told me that she was going to gather information. Well, she gathered enough information where she decided to run, and then she gathered enough information to where she spoke honestly about she was devastated that I, quote, won the election and that I shouldn't be president. So since she's so devastated and she's so hurt, well then, she can continue to work from home like many of you are doing right now. She can telework, and she can still come to your building because she went to other places. She went up north to the vet's home. I approved her leave expense for that. So she can continue to work just like the former 3 VPs, except Annika got reelected. They worked from home when they were, quote, locked out. Anyway, that's that. Now, moving on to this Michael Gus, freedom of speech. You're absolutely right. Michael Gus does have the freedom of speech. And it's too bad that his freedom of speech is based off of lies and innuendos and rumors. That's the unfortunate thing. But in this great country that I serve, I want to make sure that people like Michael Gus, I want to make sure that people who don't always agree with me, hell, I want to make sure that the Klan and those who support the Aryan nation, that they can continue to, quote, speak their gospel in a peaceful, professional manner, of course. I want to make sure that they're able to speak. If they want to yell the N-word, run down the street, I want to make sure they have that right to do that. So, that's how that's going down. Now, you know our building is currently closed. But, you know, Frank, I don't know if I got your number, if I got your cell phone in my phone here. Let me look real quick. Because
I got it, 916-868-1757.
No, that's not my number.
No, that's my number.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Everybody's giving out their number tonight.
Hold on. Wait a minute. You got me on that, Frank. Hold on. Let me check to make sure I got you in here. Wait a minute. Frank. Yep. 868-1757. Okay. And we will have either dinner or lunch, and maybe we can try to find some type of happy resolution. I'm glad that you became a COPE contributor again, and you're back on the COPE committee. That's fantastic. You thought I missed that, but I didn't. You know, I have an excellent assistant to make sure that happened, you know, as soon as possible.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Now, look, I know we have our differences, and we have some agreements. Hopefully, one day, Irene Green can reach out to me and apologize for what she did, and apologize to the voters. Because by her trying to run for chair of the board and losing 18-12, if that number is correct, because no one's there, because we never saw it on video. If that number is correct, what she did was she told the voters, I don't care about your vote. And so the people tonight who are so upset about Bill Hall, she's part of that faction who's trying to remove me from office. What she's doing is she's ignoring the will of the voters, but yet she won a second time when she should have been able to become the VP of bargaining the first time she ran. And I was the only one of the other three that said that. Okay? Now, everybody who supported Irene felt the same way as me, but I was the only person outside of the Irene group that said she should not have to run a second time. So when people say that I'm being unreasonable and I'm not trying to work with people, that's an absolute lie. And Irene Green knows me that. And Irene Green knows me from EDD, PAC 0145, San Jose, June 8th, 2009. 7 days before my 40th birthday. So I'm not the problem. But I'm glad you called, Frank, and I'll call you, and we'll eat, and I will come to your building. That you can book. Book it.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
And one other thing,
Sure.
You're talking about going on strike.
After we bargain in good faith for a period of time, if we're unable to reach an agreement with the state of California, and we reached a legal impasse, and we take a strike vote, and those who vote to go on strike, then we will go on strike. I've tried to lay out legally the steps for you as quickly as possible.
Okay, so if we vote no on that, are you guys gonna label us as scabs?
No.
Because we don't want to strike?
No, because then I'd be the biggest hypocrite you've ever seen in Local 1000. Remember, I'm trying to keep my job saying that the voters voted me in. Why are they trying to remove me unless they legally remove me through the vote of the voters through a recall? So why would I turn around a year later and we take a strike vote if we have to take a strike vote and the vote comes out no, and then I say, well, I don't care about that. We're going to go on strike anyway. That's stupid. And I'm not going to be stupid. All right. So we're glad that Frank Askin called in, because let me tell you the reason why I'm glad Frank calls in. There's times when I get on Frank's last nerves. I remember Frank called me numbnuts years ago on Facebook when I was campaigning, and I laughed about it because I haven't heard the word numbnuts since the 80s. But since I am part of the 80s, I respect that. Now, sometimes Frank makes me laugh, and then sometimes Frank asks great questions because he cares. And I care too. And so you'll see two people, Frank and I, have agreements and disagreements in front of everyone. Well, that's America. Aren't you glad to be an American? That's America. Frank didn't vote for me, but he still gives me a measure of respect, and he's still supporting Irene Green, who he voted for. We have to respect Frank on that. You know, I respect people, even though sometimes they don't always agree with me. So this whole theme that I can't be the president of Local 1000, I can't be the chief negotiator, I can't work with the staff. Get off that phone. You know, I can't, you know, I'm just totally unbearable. These are lies. And this is why I said, when you build this type of animosity, this type of, quote, anorexic animus, I look at this closely and I think, what is it about me that upsets these people so much? Now, they tell us in our purpose statement, the purpose, Local 1000 is a strong member-led union. The purpose of Local 1000 is to have the power necessary to give our members and all Californians, and it says all Californians, that means, I guess, our represented employees as well, the opportunity to have a good life, live in sustainable communities, and enjoy the fruits of social, economic, and environmental justice. Well, you know what? You know what's so funny about that? You can't live off of fruit. You ain't gonna make it. You're just gonna be living day to day off some fruit. I'm gonna say it again. If you're living off of some fruit, you're not gonna live for a long time. We say, well, how do you know that? Try it and see what happens to you. See how long you make it. People laugh when they, you know, people laugh. There was this old song that said, if you don't eat your meat, you can't have your pudding. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? And they laughed at that little line. They said, But there's a message behind that. You have to, quote, have a well-balanced diet so that you can eat your sweets or your fruits at the end. But you got to have a well-balanced diet. And I said this in my 2018 campaign. Local 1000, we need a well-balanced diet. Meats and vegetables, fruits, drink our water, and of course, have a cookie, of course, or some pudding. But you can't have one without the other. And for far too long, the reason why we haven't been able to obtain a substantial pay increase is because they've been telling you you need a livable wage. Well, who's telling you that? Listen to this. They tell you you need a livable wage. Is that what Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, is that what they live? Is that what they're saying to you? Is that what a corporation tells its shareholders? We're going to get a livable wage. Don't worry. That's why I hate that we use the board of directors. I hate that we use these corporate terms. The same entity that we're fighting, the corporations who will destroy a union in a heartbeat. We're using their terms. And we're falling underneath the California Code of Corporations along with our policy file and bylaws if they don't give more information. We fall under the California Corporation the California Corporation for non-benefit, mutual benefit, non-profit corporations. It's a long night. I'm tired. So that's what we fall under in the 7000 series, in case who's ever listening at the end. But these people we're fighting, we're using their terms. And you don't hear these people saying a livable wage. livable wage means you're living day to day. You need a substantial wage so you can make money, put money up for your kids to go to college. So in case they don't get the Pell Grant, or they don't even have that anymore, the Pell Grant, financial aid, in case you get pregnant, you need that extra money, that extra savings, versus waiting on the governor or the federal government to give you something. Like we're waiting right now to see if the governor will sit down with me over the essential worker premium pay petitions, over 17,000 that we have, to see if he has the love in his heart to give out any money. That means they're in the power and we're not. That's not good. We should have never gave up our money to begin with. All right, last caller, and then we're going to shut this down. Angelica. Go ahead, Angelica. Oh, Angelica, please. Okay.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, a couple of things. One, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you, and you have my support. I want to tell you that I was never hurt prior to you being in office. And I have had the opportunity of being able to reach you directly. And I'm amazed, I'm at awe, because that has not happened ever before. And I really appreciate that. I also appreciate that there's changes in the staff of the union where they're also responsive to our needs, or at least in my need. I don't know the rest of the people, but it's not it's an uphill battle, obviously, but at least I'm able to talk to you and the representatives that I need to, when I need to now. So I really want to thank you. And I'm with Yolanda, and I'm an OT, and we are a strong body, and we are very much union members because we know and we recognize the essential of being part of something to be stronger. The OTs are very smart. We're hard workers, and we are very smart. And we just need to make the demands, and we need to be able to stop the bullying. Because that's what it is when they're making us come to work. When we're not, they don't care about us. And it's in every department, it's kind of like, oh, if you're an OT, you are worthless. And we can bully you, and what we tell whoever we tell, and it's okay because nobody stands with you. And so we need to start making some noise. And as far as the diet, I understand what you're saying. You know, we need to taste the bitter to know what the sweetness is like. But we've been eating too much bitter stuff with this state taking us for granted. It's enough. And if we go and we don't get that percentage of income that we need, and if we don't strike, then it's kind of like shooting ourselves in the foot. Because if we have the power and we don't use it, it's done. And so I really appreciate what you're doing. And I appreciate how well, and I can see there's so many more improvements now that you've been in our leadership with the union. And so thank you.
Angelica, thank you for that encouraging and thoughtful call in. Tonight's been interesting. Tonight, I want to talk only about the money, but people really want to talk about their voice as voters in this country and in this union. I saw a lot of emotions tonight. I mean, but everyone was so professional. It's kind of scary. Makes me wonder, is this still Local 1000? Let me say this. It's really unfortunate that the DLC 744 President Bill Hall, DLC 786 President Teresa Taylor, and the rest of the quote, as I say with love and respect, the hateful eight, that they're not willing to really talk and sit down with me and try to work with me. And when a person really is that set out against you, that's set out against you, it does make you wonder why. Because everyone in this union is supposed to, this is the tricky thing, they're supposed to love the union. It's kind of like people that go to church. The people in church are supposed to be God-fearing and doing the right thing. And sometimes you're almost better off being in the streets where people tell you up front, hey, I ain't no good, I'm doing drugs, I'm getting ready to rob a liquor store, and I don't have no car insurance, and my car doesn't run halfway right, and if you don't watch me, I'll steal your DC, or DVR, whatever it is. But they tell you up front. But the ones in church that smile on your face are sometimes the ones trying to stick a knife in your back while praising God at the same time. Maybe we have that here in Local 1000. Maybe? I would say yes, we do. They tell you that I'm so wrong and I'm doing all these things wrong, but these people are complete liars. And I show you over and over and over again. But it's still not good enough because they have to remove me from office because they want the status quo of, quote, the financial suffering to continue on regardless of who the president is. Because they've been conditioned by the politicians, and they tell you that the politicians are our bosses, but that's an absolute lie. But they've been so conditioned, in my mind, I think they possibly suffer from the Stockholm Syndrome. I would think that there's a stronger possibility that they're part of the sycophants Social Solidarity Club. And they'll do anything to keep the club the way it is. When I want to open everything up and make everything competitive. But that's who they are. But we have to respect that now the truth is finally out on some, because we have some really incredible DLC presidents and really some incredible bunk chairs who are putting in the work, who care about you, who email me and say, hey, Richard, I want to do this and I want to do that. Richard, keep up with me. And I'm trying to keep up with all these amazing people because they care about you. They're sincere. But some of these other people are not sincere, which kind of raises the question, have they ever been sincere? And that's a question that will have to be answered. Here's what I will say, because Derek really started off tonight. Derek Roque, DLC Secretary Treasurer in DLC 770. His DLC President is Nicole Solo. I want to thank Derek, and I want to thank everyone who called in tonight. There's one person on here who did not speak, who did not raise their hand, and I see him watching like a fox in the grass. His name is John Fox. He's always on Facebook saying things, but yet he's too afraid to raise his hand. Because he's probably here, and then he'll go on Facebook and see all these things that I said. He'll misconstrue them, he'll turn them around, he'll lie. I still love John Fox. But I want you to know, John Fox, I see you, and I see our bunk chair of 2021, Bobby Dalton Roy. I see you too. I know what you're about, Bobby. Still love you. But I want you people to know, I'm going to start calling your names out. I'm going to start calling you out to see if you want to raise your hand and engage with me so we can have a professional conversation. But you probably don't. You probably don't. I see other people on here. See, I'm in a talking mood tonight. I could talk at 2 o'clock in the morning. I could take on every question. But could you handle the answer? All right. Tonight was about the money. Financial freedom versus financial suffering. Thank the research department, Kenny, Sims, Jack McGlynn, Roger White, communications, Brian Nash, the director. I see Mr. The Voice. He's on watching. I see him. Thank you. I see you, John. I want to thank Key. Who? Right, Jim. I said John? Yeah. Oh, forgive me. Jim. Oh, forgive me. They got me so convinced of The Voice. Forgive me, Jim. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. It's been fun. I've been challenged to come to some work sites. People who are still going to work every day, putting their lives on the line. Okay. You got the right one. I'm Richard Lewis Brown. Tonight, February 2nd, 2022. Thank you for your time. Good night.